Hey AGF, you have done it. We are at the end, just a couple of days left here in Lent. I'm so proud of you. Way to go. Hopefully you've been sticking with it. And if you took a break and you came back, good for you, way to come back. And if you stayed with everything the whole month, we're so proud of you, way to go. Way to pursue God in this season. That's amazing, and we're so proud of you. Today I want to just remind you of a really cool story and encourage you with something as we come near the end of this season. In Exodus chapter 34, we know a story of Moses. Now, Moses had some unique moments with the people of Israel. Those were people who experienced the miracles of God and the faithfulness of God in the midst of lack. They survived in the desert and had to be completely dependent on God. In all of these seasons, they got to see miracle after miracle after miracle. And we know that they also still struggled with faith. And here's what I want to remind you of. There's a story in Exodus chapter 34. After Moses came down the first time, he saw the golden calf and he smashed the 10 commandments, the whole 9 yards. Then he goes back up again and he comes back down. And here's what I want to pick up in verse 29 of chapter 34. It says, "When Moses came down Mount Sinai carrying the 2 stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant, 10 commandments, he wasn't aware that his face had become radiant because he had spoken to the Lord. So when Aaron and the people of Israel saw the radiance of Moses' face, they were afraid to come near him. But Moses called out to them and asked Aaron and all the leaders of the community to come over, and he talked with them. Then all the people of Israel approached him, and Moses gave them all the instructions the Lord had given him on Mount Sinai. When Moses finished speaking with them, he covered his face with a veil. But whenever he went into the tent of meeting to speak with the Lord, he would remove the veil until he came out again. Then he would give the people whatever instructions the Lord had given him. And the people of Israel would see the radiant glow of his face. So he would put the veil over his face until he returned to speak with the Lord." Now, you might be asking yourself, what's the connection here? I want to challenge you with something. This season, our goal has been a denial of ourselves, a closeness to the heart of Christ, and communion and communication constantly with Jesus. And here's what I know and I believe of you. While you might not have come down from this season face radiating, you might be starving, you could be tired, whatever you feel in this season, I want to encourage you, if you've been doing this, if you've been seeking God this season, you are growing and you're becoming a better reflection of his character. Your face, in a way, and not literally, is kind of glowing, hopefully with the presence of Jesus, because of the amount of time that you spent with him. And this does not by any way, shape, or form make you better than others, but what it can do is it can remind us that, man, when I was in the presence of God, when I focused my attention, when I focused my time, when I focused my efforts on this season about Jesus, I felt closeness to him. I felt a radiance, so to speak, and a closeness with him that I haven't experienced before. And I want to encourage you, don't stay on the mountain. It's really easy sometimes to become obsessed with our holiness. I preached a few weeks back on this idea of the pursuit of holiness. And what I know to be true is that God wants you to draw him to you, right? He wants you to be close to him. He wants to have those mountaintop experiences. He wants to have those moments where we stop focusing on what we can do and we start depending on what he can do. But he doesn't want us just to stay in that season of the mountain. He wants us to be with the people. So as we transition out of Lent and we get excited for the soon coming day of Easter, the resurrection of Christ, the best day of the whole year, remember that the purpose of the entire gospel, and Jesus said this, is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your soul, with all that is within you. And the second commandment, which is also just as important, is to love your neighbor as yourself. And this is what I want to challenge you with. Take the love that you've experienced from God, those mountaintop experiences. We talked about this a little just a couple days ago, those monuments of faith, man. Whatever God's been doing is you've reflected positively in this last season about God's faithfulness and everything. Take that faithfulness to your friends. Take that faithfulness to your coworkers. Take that to the community around you. So as you reflect on God's goodness, go demonstrate and share what he's done in your life to others and watch how it transforms not just your world, but the world of others around you. We love you, church, and we'll see you guys soon.